To introduce today our startup, 1000 Towns of Canada. So, Canadian domestic trips market has been on the rise for the last couple of years, now approaching $77 billion, according to the government of Canada. It's already a huge number for such a small country with only 30 million people, but there's a number of other factors that will contribute to further growth in the market. So first of all, when you think about Canadian real disposable incomes, because of real estate prices and other factors, it's essentially becoming for Canadians to live more expensive in this country. They don't have enough money to spend on leisure. This, coupled with the fact that U.S. dollar became much stronger, people now have to pay 30% premium to travel to U.S. So as such, many Canadians are scaling down and investing more of their dollars to travel locally. Also, I have been in year number 10 of the bull market, and it's inevitable that the new recession is coming up in the next couple of years. And during those times, domestic travel market always continues to grow just because people still have to unwind and spend their time with their families just to relax. But there's a little problem here that the trip planning today is extremely time consuming. It's not an easy task. And of course, you can find any specific events that are happening in your final destination. For example, what's going on in Niagara Falls this weekend. But the majority of car travelers prefer not only to go to their final point of destination, but to make multiple stops on the way. They would like to plan the trip according to their preferences and their family situation, whether they have kids or not, etc., etc. So to solve for that today, they actually have to serve Google for hours trying to plan the trip on a piece of paper. They can also go to the old guidebooks, old travel guides. The problem with those, it's static. They were developed 10 years ago. It's not real-time information that's happening there. And you can also talk to your friends and to colleagues. But the bottom line is, trip planning is extremely time consuming. There's no one-stop shop that offers those services. And as we know, time is the biggest resource that people are strapping with today. Everybody is stressed. And this way, 1000 Towns offers trip planning services as a one-stop shop platform to consumers. At the core of 1000 Towns is AI-powered aggregator, which is essentially a piece of software that collects information from multiple web servers and online resources about local insights, events, concerts, festivals, sales, deals, etc. And then on top of that, we're using machine learning algorithm to constantly improve their out planning skills. So the application itself collects anonymous information, anonymous data from users based on how they rate their experiences that they already used. So AI is the core of our technology and machine learning. And on top of that, we supplementing this database of events with the content created by local residents, which we'll talk about in a second. How the product would look like is 1,000 unique pages for different towns with a local content populated by the local residents. And you will also use the trip planning app itself that will combine data from those pages based on your preferences and your needs. The fastest way to drive the local content is through a network of ambassadors, and many people already reaching out to us asking for collaboration and working with a number of people. So many of those people are social media activists, as we would call them. They're already managing the local content, the local pages for their towns, for their specific groups of interest. And they're more than willing to contribute the local content because when you think about the psychographics of small towns and their residents, essentially people are very bored. There is not a lot of things to do. At the same time, they're very passionate about the place where they live, and they're more than willing to contribute the content to attract more traffic to their areas. As such, we have four major target groups for the project. One, of course, is the leisure travelers that often come from the larger areas, such as GTA, such as Toronto. And what's in it for them in using our platform is two things. One is they will be able to travel like a local. They use the local information, local events provided by the local experts. And it's a big trend overall across many categories and in travel in particular. But on top of that, they'll be able to customize their travel preferences based on their unique situation and interest. Some people might have family with kids or older parents who would travel with them. So we'll be able to provide real-time events based on their unique situation. Small businesses in towns, of course, also very excited because it allows them to attract new clients because very often they compete with the larger metropolitan areas for money and for the share of wallet. Municipalities very interested as well because the key KPI of their election campaigns is an ability to drive economic growth, which in most cases come through tourism and the new visitors. And again, local town residents are more than happy to create the local content and supply it to us because of the psychographic nature of their relationship and just not a lot of fun things that are happening in their communities. They're bored. In this way, we offer a unique blend of creativity and technology of the platform. At the core of it, as I mentioned, is our AI and machine learning algorithm coupled with the local content provided by the people themselves, by the users themselves. Network of ambassadors in 1000 Town is actually a unique feature of ours, and it's very important because they will become the early adopters and provide the real-time feedback about the platform, what's working, what's not. We already have a big engagement with local communities and small businesses who are more than excited because we offer them ability to drive traffic to their businesses that will result in higher sales for themselves. We'll talk about our team in a second, but we have a very strong team that have spent a number of years in the media side and digital projects, successfully monetizing multiple businesses in the past. And of course, it all comes down to money. How we're gonna make money on this project. So what's cool about 1000 Towns is that we can use not only single monetization tactics, but there are multiple options that are available that we'll be executing this year. Let's talk about monetization for a second. So subscription ad fee for the businesses is the core revenue stream. And keep in mind, because we have 1000 towns in Canada, so only if we attract 3 subscribers from any given town, and it's not a hard task, to be honest with you. If they only pay $100 a year, which is a really nominal fee, it's a very easy sell. We can easily drive 300,000 in revenues just in year 1. Annual subscription fee for the banner ads and other things, it's easily executable. But on top of that, we'll be offering location-based advertising. So as people travel through the app, they'll see different pop-ups based on their geolocation, and we'll use geo-targeting to drive incremental sales. On top of that, we'll be launching Q4 of next year e-commerce platform for the local products, so people can actually buy the things that they're interested in. And spending myself a number of years on the retail side, an ability to buy the local products is what consumers are looking for, because we passed the days of the big brands. McDonald's have been very cool in the 90s, but people looking for this local flavor, new experiences, and an e-commerce platform for the local products would provide that. And last but not least, we should not underestimate the power of the data and ability to monetize it, because we'll be collecting real-time information based on GPS signal on specific locations. We'll be able to monetize this data to a number of companies in the space. Let's talk about the team for a sec, because at the end of the day, the vision will be executed by the management team. So myself, I spent a number of years in consumer research and the media side of the business, working for a number of CPG companies like Procter, Molson Coors, and lately at the Nielsen Company, which is the biggest media and market research shop in the world. Vlad Umnov also have a number of experience specifically focusing on digital media projects that are based on the local communities, which is instrumental, obviously, for 1000 Towns of Canada. He has a lot of experience on the advertising side, and he will be able to develop the right strategies, how to execute not only the initial advertising campaigns, but also create the right economic structure to be able to upsell advertising options to different customers. And Lulu is an expert in sales. At the end of the day, we would need to generate a lot of leads on advertisement, and he'll be able to help here as well. Let's talk about the timeline. So at the beginning of this year, we spent a lot of hours. We've done qual and quant research on our target demographic. So we asked people through focus groups and surveys, what are their pain points in traveling? How do they travel? What they would like to improve? And that became the core promise of the platform and the functionality that we offer. In the fall of this year and back in the summer, we launched the beta version of the platform. And right now we actually have very good traction. I mean, keep in mind we spent literally zero marketing dollars so far. We already have north of 3,000 visitors a month on the platform. Social media is north of 10,000 followers. So the plan for Q1 of next year will be launching all the functionality that we talked about on the platform itself. By July 2020, the network of ambassadors will be fully created, and they will help us to drive the networking effect in their local communities to drive the early adoption. By October of next year, so 12 months from now approximately, we will scale up to the rest of Canada in the sense that we'll create different pages for all of the communities. And by December Q4 of next year, we'll launch online store for the local products that I talked about. So thank you very much. We're very excited to work with you. Hope to hear from you soon. Thank you. Have a good day.